Okay, so we are back on the concluding session of our Dartless corset construction and fabric placing. So today we are going to be concluding. There's not too much story. We go ahead to the pattern. So if you just bumped on this my video, do well to check the video before this one, okay, so you'll be able to understand. It's a very simple method of cutting your dartless corset for those that do not want to go into all this remove 2 inches, add 2 inches here. This is just a straightforward way of making your corset. Okay, so now this is the pattern we created, right? If you place this pattern on a fabric, okay, to cut out, it won't fit this cup. So watch and see what I'm going to be doing. So you're going to be creating a pattern that you are going to cut out. Are you seeing it? So I am cutting out this area totally, and I'm going to just blend it nicely in so that there will not be any sharp curving. Okay, that is the essence of the fabric placing. Whatever you have joined on this pattern, the fabric you are going to lay will cover it. Okay, so now I'm going to be cutting out this one. Okay, can you see? Now we are going to be cutting out this one on the fabric, the inner fabric that we are going to be using. Okay, and we are going to be cutting it on fold. Okay, you iron properly. Okay, so that, because I don't want to waste my fabric, you make sure that you are placing it perfectly the way it's going to not waste your fabric. Okay, from here I'll be using a voice note so I can make it faster. This video is almost like 6 hours long. So here I laid that waist part with I laid it with stay so that it can be strong. Now I'm marking out my boning channels. Okay, so now I placed the pattern, the one I cut out. Now if I want to cut out the shape, I used a transparent material, that is stay. I use stay to mark it out. Okay, remember that if you cut it like that on your fabric, it is going to, if you cut it like that on fabric, is going to be short. So I had to place it on pattern and place it on top of that bra cup to get the shape I'm using now. Okay, so you can see as I cut it out, I put it on the bra cup and it fitted perfectly well. Okay, that's why I used transparent, so that as I laid it on that bra cup, I could be able to see very well. So now I'm just matching out the point at which it has to fold, and there's no problem about that. Whatever roughness you are seeing now will later be covered. Okay, now I laid the cups with hemming gum. Lay it properly with hemming gum so you can iron. Okay, so I want to see the center so that I'll make sure I'm placing my fabric very well, and I used iron to iron it down. You can put your ball under, but I tried putting the ball and the ball was running. That's why I removed it and I'm using my hand to iron it. Now I have covered the balls properly, you can see, and it's fitted very well on the this. You can see I've placed it and it's very beautiful. Guys, this is beautiful. You can see when you now lay it, you see it's beautiful. You can now see, but always allow your armhole to guide you. Okay, allow the armhole to be a guide for you. Okay, make sure that the armhole of the cutout is matching with this thing, and then we'll go ahead and start our fabric fabric placement. But then we still have boning and bust caging to do. I'll be showing you that. If you want to learn boning again and bust caging, continue watching the video for you to be able to see. So you can see the material, the lace material, very beautiful, very beautiful. You can see. So I set it aside, and I set it aside now, and I'm going to go ahead to show you guys how to work on the boning. Okay, so that's the boning material I'm going to be using. Okay, that's the boning material I'm going to be using. And this is, there's two types. There's sewable boning, and there's plastic. Okay, the plastic you can also on top of it, but this one I'm using, you can actually sew on top of it. So you can see it's now depending on you to know how to match out your lace material. You can see this lace material, very beautiful. Whichever way you want to place it, it can go. Okay, whichever way you want to place it, it can go, seriously. So that's that, guys. I'm just trying to see how to bring out the beauty of my fabric, how to place the lace so that it will bring out the beauty of my fabric. And whatever joining you have, you can use this flower to cover it. Don't be scared. Anyhow you like, pieces this lace now and place it, you will still use flower to cover whatsoever that is the roughness underneath it. Okay, don't bother about anything, nothing will show. My client was very happy with this sewing, nothing will show. Just go ahead and
how to create perfect boning. Turn off the iron. Okay, how to create perfect boning and bust caging. Okay, now bust caging is very important if you are doing a dartless corset. This foam is very soft, so if you want to say you want to make your clothes just with this foam, okay, you might end up not packing your client well, except your client wants to wear bra. But there are some clients that might not want to wear bra. Okay, so bust caging is very necessary. And then even if the client doesn't want to wear bra, okay, for a client that is very busty, you will still advise the person to wear bra, okay, so the breast will not sag. Okay, but if this person is not a plus size person, so just making what I'm making now and constructing your bust cage is going to pack the person well, and you need this for your boning, for your bust cage. Like I said, it's because I'm making tutorials, that's why it's looking like it's very hectic. If you practice this once, twice, third time, I tell you, you will not want to do that anymore. Okay, because it's a simple, straightforward method of doing your thing. Okay, so now let's first talk about the boning before we go ahead to go to the bust caging. Now for the boning, okay, you can use any material. This can be Ankara, but remember you are going to lay it with stay. Okay, so this is for people that don't want to pad too much. The cost of material in the market now is very expensive, so we are looking for ways to cut costs. Now giving your fabric structure can make you not to do a lot of padding. Okay, and most times by the time you pad and pad and pad, the customer, it becomes very heavy. But with what I'm doing now, your cloth will look light and will still give you the fittings that you want. Okay, so for boning, okay, you have to, this can be any fabric. I just decided to choose white shiny face because that's what the customer wants. Okay, you can see the style on the screen. So now for you to create your boning, okay, if you watch my other video, if you have not watched the starting of this video, is in the illustration box. Please go back there and check it, so you watch and then follow. Now for you to create the boning, everybody has his own way of sewing. Me, I like simplifying my things. Okay, I don't want too much wahala. Meanwhile, you can't sleep on just one cloth because you want to sew. Okay, so whatever I'm doing now is what every other person might want to do and will still come out with perfect result. So now for you to make your boning casing, okay, your channel for the boning, cut a strap of 2.5 inches. Okay, now I will prefer that no matter the fabric you are using for these bodies, please always use satin or cotton for your boning, because it still adds strength to whatever you are doing. You don't need to lay it, just use cotton or satin. I prefer using bridal satin, shiny face, mirror face, mikado, or for the boning, because it has strength. What I'm saying is, don't use, you can use crepe anyway, but don't go and be using chiffon, something like that. You can you use lace? I don't know, but don't use lace. It's too thick and it might be hard to control. Okay, but do what works for you. Now you are going to be cutting out a strip of 2.5 inches, right? You are going to be cutting out a strip of 2.5 inches. Now what you are going to do is, just after you have cut it to the length of the, you already ruled, remember we already ruled where we want our casing to boning to be. You can make your own 7, anyhow, any number that you want to. Mine, I just want mine to be 3 inches. Some can still create this one, create another one like this, create another one like this, create and create. That is for you, but for me, this 3 is okay. I just want to give structure to the waist area. Okay, now the first thing you do is cut out this strip that is 2.5 inches. When you cut out this strip that is 2.5 inches, this is the boning, right? Place it right at the middle and hold it this way. Okay, front side up. Okay, you hold it this way, take it to the sewing machine and sew this remaining part, not on the boning. Though remember, this boning is a sewable boning. Okay, you can sew on this one, but now I'm not sewing, I just want to create channel. Okay, so on this particular one, sew very close to the boning, but don't let it touch the boning. Very close to the boning. You can sew around here. Okay, why I made it 2.5 is so that I can relax. Do you understand? So because if you make it tight, the machine will not want it to, you'll be battling with the machine to make it stay. But if you make the strap 2.5 inches, then you can relax while sewing it. Now take it very close to the sewing machine, to the boning, but not very close. The boning inside will help you as a guy. Then you run your thread through and cover it. Now when you have covered it, come this way. Okay, you can see I've already sewn it on my. Now if you watch my sewing, okay, these boning lines, you know, I already marked it. Look at it. I don't know if the camera can show it very well. I already marked the line. That is the center, the center, the center. Do you understand? Now when placing it, shift your hand a little, because if you place it on this line, it will end up shifting this your boning structure to the side. Okay, so you shift your hand a little to the right. Now you are going to stitch, run that stitch that, you know, when we held this one, okay, when we held this one, okay, I told you stitch on it, but not very close to the boning, but not on this boning, right? Now that same stitch you used, place it very close to the center line. Okay, shift your hand and still stitch on that same line that you stitched while the boning was inside. Stitch on that same line. So now you're having double line together. Okay, on each other. Now after stitching it, that's what I did here, right? Now you shift it again. I want to show you because I don't want to waste time having to go to and fro the sewing machine. Okay, this is what I did here. Now you will bend it this way. That was what I did. And then learn that anytime you stitch, please pull your, so that it will stretch. Okay, pull it so it will stretch. Now you have stitched a double line. Now you will just hold it this way, bend it this way, okay, and stitch very close to the edge, very close to the edge, very close to the edge. And that's what I did here. Okay, if you look at it, you see I stitched very close to the edge. Make your hand straight. Okay, you are going to do it for this and do it for this. Now you can easily pass your boning without much ado. Can you see? Can you see? Okay. Can you see? Now I'm going to cut here. Okay, this is where I'm attaching my skirt. I'm going to close, if you like, close. If you don't let it get too much to this place so that it doesn't stress you, okay, when you are going to be sewing. Now the next thing for us to do after placing our bust cage, I'm still going to go and sew this place down, so don't worry about it. Now you are going to be placing this is the upper part of our corset, okay, and this is the one we cut out. Please go, that's why you need to watch that former video so you understand. Now while placing it, let the armhole guide you. Okay, while placing this cup, let the armhole guide you. Now the armhole, place it in a way, because you can see, make sure that it continued with the armhole. Okay, you are going to make sure that it continued with the armhole. Now you are going to make sure that you place the cup on top of, make sure you place the top cup on top of this particular one. Okay, and that's where you are going to sew. Okay, now later you can just put this one down, and then you just stitch round, and then you trim. You see, that's why I said this is a very easy way of doing these things. You trim the same way you treated that one, is the same way you are still going to treat this one. Then at the end of the day, you just trim out the excesses. Okay, and then your bust is okay. Can you see, even without too much question, our bust has formed, even with all this roughness. That is why fabric placing is very, very beautiful, because whatever roughness you are seeing here, by the time I place this by the time I start placing this lace, okay, by the time I start placing this lace, you will not see anything that happened underneath it, and I can play with it anyhow that I want. Do you understand? I can play with it anyhow that I want. Okay, nobody is showing that line anymore. You go for occasions, you are the only one wearing pointed dart. Sometimes there will be mistake, and your boss will be looking embarrassingly pointed. Nobody wears that anymore. Okay, so people are getting better and better by the day. Okay, so let's go right into this tutorial. I'm done with the boning. Okay, so now I'll be talking about the caging. Okay, so because I want you guys to see everything the way it's happening, this is it's time for the fabric placing. So it depends on you. The boning is inside already. The boning structure has already been set up. Everything has been ironed. The only thing that is remaining is to place the lace fabric on our design, and then trim out where necessary. Okay, so this is the lace I'll be placing, and I've already laid it with hemming gum. So you have to lay very well with hemming gum, because it's the gum we are going to make sure we use to make the fabric to slip properly. Okay, okay, so let's go ahead and start the placing, and I'll be back to show you what I did.